The scene is one that causes dread at any time of year, maybe more so in a holiday season. And when dawn broke over Northampton on Sunday, it was clear that the city had a major crisis on its hands. Once again, an arsonist had struck, this time with lethal results.
Well, we're extremely premature at this point, but just briefly to answer, we're obviously looking at anything from arson, and in this particular case, perhaps murder.
This devastation at 17 Fair Street was the source of that potential murder charge. Residents Paul Yeske Sr. and Paul Yeske Jr. died in this fire, the worst in a string of 9 blazes that broke out in a cluster of city streets. Other fires caused damage to houses, such as this Union Street dwelling, as well as cars, this one on William Street, and this one on Crescent Street. The outbreak is one of the worst in the state in years, and Governor Deval Patrick traveled to Northampton to see the damage firsthand.
I'm confident, having been briefed just now, that all of the authorities have this matter in hand. There is a good deal of work to do to rebuild and also to find, as I say, the perpetrators, but I think we've got the right people and the right resources applied to it. I'm very confident that we will get to the bottom of this as quickly as possible.
Local, state, and federal agencies have formed a task force to investigate the fires.
In all the years that I've served as your state fire marshal, I can't think of another series of events so close to each other in regard to the crime of arson. This hit this city very hard last night, and the city was up to the challenge. And the investigative task force that's been put together by the district attorney is up to the challenge that faces us to bring the person or persons responsible for this to justice.
Meanwhile, Northampton Mayor Claire Higgins urged city residents to be vigilant and to look out for each other.
But we have a lot of work to do to make sure that we stay safe, so I'm going to ask people to take care of their neighbors. If your neighbor has trash on the porch and needs help getting to the landfill, reach out and help them do that. If your neighbor needs help raking the leaves and getting them away from the house, please reach out and do that. Go out and help people put up a porch light or something to make sure that that area around their house is well lit so that there's not an opportunity for people to start a fire. Make sure that when you get out of your car every night, you lock it, and you hate to say that because we all like to live in a community where you can leave your car unlocked. But right now, we need to lock our cars so that there's no opportunity for somebody to throw a match in and start a fire in a car. This is the kind of situation where we can come together as a community and help protect our neighbors and help our firefighters and help our police department keep us safe. So I'm going to ask you all to do that in our community. And I'm going to also ask you if you see anything suspicious to please, please, please call dispatch. They're here at 24 hours a day to take your calls. It's not an imposition. We need you to call if you see something that is out of line or is suspicious. We need you to do them.
With the investigation into this latest string of arsons just beginning, Northwestern District Attorney Elizabeth Scheibel was close-mouthed about the details of the crimes.
And I think you can appreciate that the investigation is fairly new, it's ongoing, it's very active at this time, and so because of that, I do not want to release any specific information.
However, Scheibel noted that investigators have been working at the fire site since the blazes were put out in hopes of turning up some initial clues.
Again, we're treating each one of them independently of one another. There are teams that are involved in the investigation in each of those locations. But what we'll be doing is looking at all of them, obviously, to see whether or not there are any connections to each other.
Scheibel, as well as the other task force members, all appealed to the public for any information that might aid in solving the outbreak of fires.
I would just ask if anyone observed anything or heard anything, no matter how minor that person might feel that information is, to pass it along to the numbers that we've given to you, and that will be listed in the press release, because it has been our collective experience that it's oftentimes a tip that will be the linchpin to solving a crime.
Still, Northampton residents are likely to be on edge for a good while investigators in the task force work to try to find out who is torching their city. For GazetteNet, this is Don St. John.